If you are hearing this right now, there is a reason your consciousness has been drawn to these exact words at this precise moment in space-time. What I am about to reveal isn't just another manifestation technique. It isn't just another spiritual philosophy. This is the one quantum law that governs every single outcome in your reality. Yet it remains completely invisible to 99% of humanity. And here is what makes this moment so significant. The fact that you are here listening to this means you have already demonstrated the exact signature frequency that allows this law to reveal itself to you. Take a breath right here and notice something. There is a quality to your awareness right now that is different from your normal state. You can feel it, can't you? That slight shift in perception. That sense that something important is about to click into place. That feeling in your chest, a subtle opening, a quiet recognition. That is not coincidence. That is your quantum field recognizing itself in these words. It is preparing to remember something it has always known, but temporarily forgot during the process of incarnating into physical form. You are not learning something new today. You are remembering something ancient. What I am going to share with you has been hidden in plain sight throughout human history. Ancient mystery schools encoded it in their teachings. Quantum physicists have stumbled upon it in their laboratories. Mystics have experienced it in their deepest meditations. But nobody has connected all the pieces into a framework that makes it accessible, practical, and immediately applicable to your daily life until this exact moment. Here is the quantum law that changes everything. Reality doesn't respond to what you want. It doesn't respond to what you believe or even what you visualize. Reality responds exclusively to what you are at the quantum frequency level. Let that land for a moment. Let it sink past your analytical mind and into your nervous system. Everything you have been taught about manifestation, about creating your reality, about the law of attraction, has been missing this one critical element. You have been trying to broadcast signals to the universe through your thoughts and emotions, not realizing that the universe doesn't receive those signals the way you think it does. You think you are sending a request, but the universe hears a command based on your being, not your words. The universe is not listening to your words. It is not listening to your affirmations or looking at your vision boards. The universe is reading your quantum signature, the electromagnetic frequency pattern that your entire being broadcasts every single moment. And here is the part that nobody tells you. Your quantum signature is determined not by what you consciously think, but by what you unconsciously are. Scientists at the HeartMath Institute discovered something extraordinary that mainstream science tried to suppress for years. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends approximately 8 to 10 feet from your body in all directions. This is not a metaphor. This is measurable physics. This field carries information, and it is being read by every single person, animal, plant, and quantum probability field within its range. But here is where it gets profound. This field isn't broadcasting your conscious intentions, it is broadcasting your deepest identity, your core frequency, the truth of what you believe yourself to be at the most fundamental level. You could stand in front of a mirror every morning saying, "I am abundant," while your quantum signature is screaming, "I am lacking." You could visualize your dream life in perfect detail, while your electromagnetic field broadcasts, "I am unworthy of receiving." And the universe will respond not to your conscious effort, but to your unconscious transmission every single time. Because the universe is literal. It is a mirror, and a mirror cannot reflect what is not there.
This is why people can do everything right, follow every manifestation protocol, maintain positive thoughts, and still experience the same limiting patterns. They feel like they are pushing against a wall. They feel like the universe is ignoring them. They are trying to override their quantum signature with conscious intention, which is like trying to change the ocean's tide by standing on the beach and asking nicely. The tide doesn't care about your request. The tide moves according to the gravitational pull of the moon. In your life, your unconscious identity is the moon. It controls the tides of your reality. But when you understand this quantum law, when you grasp how to actually shift your core frequency rather than just your surface thoughts, everything transforms. Not gradually, not eventually, instantly. Because you are finally working with the actual mechanism through which consciousness creates reality instead of fighting against it. You stop trying to push the water and you start moving the moon. You have probably noticed that certain patterns keep repeating no matter how much personal development work you do. The same type of relationship dynamics show up with different people. The same financial ceiling appears no matter which opportunity you pursue. The same emotional states cycle through regardless of external circumstances changing. These aren't coincidences or bad luck or karmic punishment. These are quantum feedback loops. Your unconscious frequency signature keeps collapsing probability waves into similar outcomes because the signature itself hasn't shifted. You have been rearranging the furniture while the foundation of the house remains unchanged.
Here is what is actually happening at the quantum level that modern physics has proven, but spiritual teachings have missed. Every atom in your body is constantly exchanging particles with every other atom in the universe through quantum entanglement. You are not separate from anything. You are not an isolated consciousness trying to manifest external things. You are the quantum field temporarily experiencing itself as an individual. When physicists say that observation collapses the wave function, they are describing something far more profound than most people realize. It is not your eye looking at something that collapses quantum possibilities into definite outcomes. It is not just your visual focus. It is your entire being, your complete frequency signature, your total electromagnetic pattern. That serves as the observation collapsing infinite potential into your specific experience. The double-slit experiment proved that particles exist in superposition, in all possible states simultaneously,
until observation collapses them. But the profound implication that most people miss is this: you are in superposition. All possible versions of you, living all possible timelines, exist simultaneously in the quantum field right now. The version of you living your dream life exists, not as a fantasy, but as a frequency. The version of you who has already achieved everything you are working toward exists, not as future potential, not as possibility, but as present reality. So, manifestation isn't about creating something new. It is about shifting your frequency to align with the timeline where you already are what you are trying to become. It is about quantum jumping from one existing reality to another by changing the signature that determines which reality you experience. This isn't semantic wordplay. This is the literal mechanism of quantum manifestation. A radio doesn't attract the music to itself through effort or desire. A radio receives the music that was always broadcasting by tuning its frequency to match the station's frequency. You don't manifest your desires by wanting them intensely enough. You experience your desires by becoming the frequency at which those experiences naturally exist.
Let me prove this to you through something you have already experienced but never consciously recognized. I want you to think about a time when something you wanted showed up effortlessly, when synchronicity felt magical, when doors opened without you pushing, when you met someone and it felt like you had known them forever. If you examine that experience honestly, you will notice something specific. In that moment, you weren't desperately wanting the outcome. You weren't trying to force manifestation. You weren't doing the work. You had somehow, even temporarily, embodied the frequency of already having it. You were relaxed. You were certain. You were in a state of flow. You were vibrating as the person to whom such things naturally occur. That wasn't luck. That was you accidentally aligning with this quantum law. And what I am going to show you is how to do it deliberately, consistently, permanently. The ancient Egyptians understood this principle through their concept of Ka and Ba, the quantum body and the soul body. They knew that physical reality was the densest expression of consciousness, and that by shifting the Ka, the energetic template, the physical Ba would reorganize itself to match. Their entire spiritual technology was designed around frequency modification at the quantum level. The Vedic rishis described it through the concept of sankalpa, not as wishful thinking, but as quantum seed intention planted in the unified field. They understood that consciousness at its deepest level was already unified with all possible outcomes, and that manifestation was simply selecting which timeline to experience by matching its frequency. This wisdom has been passed down for thousands of years, but we lost the manual. We forgot how to operate the machine. We started thinking we had to beg the gods or plead with the universe. We forgot that we are the universe in motion. Now let me reveal the practical mechanics of how to actually apply this quantum law, because understanding alone changes nothing. You need activation, integration, embodiment. Your quantum signature is composed of three primary components that most people have never consciously examined. First, your baseline emotional frequency, the default emotional state your nervous system returns to when nothing particularly good or bad is happening. For most people, this baseline sits somewhere between anxiety, mild dissatisfaction, and boredom. This broadcasts a frequency of lack, separation, and survival mode to the quantum field. It tells the field, I am not safe, I am not enough, I need more. Second, your identity structure, the collection of unconscious beliefs about who you are and what you deserve. These beliefs operate like software running in the background, executing programs you never consciously chose. They determine what feels possible versus impossible, natural versus unnatural, safe versus threatening. If your identity structure believes money is hard to get, no amount of visualization will bring you wealth, because your identity will reject it. Third, your coherence level, the degree to which your conscious intentions and unconscious patterns are aligned or in conflict. Low coherence means your conscious desires and unconscious programming are broadcasting opposite signals. You want love, conscious, but you fear intimacy, unconscious. This creates quantum static that prevents clear manifestation. The signal is scrambled. High coherence means your entire being is broadcasting a unified frequency that the quantum field can read clearly and respond to accordingly. When your head and your heart are saying the same thing, you become a laser beam of creation.
This is where most manifestation teaching fails. It tries to change your reality by adding new conscious thoughts on top of your existing unconscious structure. It is like trying to change what a radio plays by shouting different songs at it while it is tuned to a specific station. The radio will keep playing what it is tuned to receive, regardless of what you shout at it. True quantum manifestation requires going deeper than thought, deeper than emotion, deeper than belief, all the way down to the frequency level where your identity actually generates the electromagnetic signature. The technique I am about to share is not something you do once and forget. This is a fundamental recalibration of your operating system. This is quantum surgery on the identity structure that has been running your life from behind the scenes. It is called the Quantum Identity Integration Protocol, and it works by creating coherence between all three components of your quantum signature. Phase 1. Frequency Archaeology. You must first become conscious of what your current quantum signature actually is. You cannot shift what you are not aware of. For the next 7 days, set 3 alarms throughout your day at random times. When each alarm sounds, immediately stop whatever you are doing and check in with 3 things. What emotion am I feeling right now beneath whatever I am thinking about? Not the story you are telling yourself, not the mental narrative, just the raw emotional frequency in your body. Is it tight? Is it heavy? Is it light? What does this emotional frequency believe about who I am? If this feeling could speak, what would it say? Would it say, I am a victim? I am powerful. I am waiting.
Is this frequency coherent with what I am consciously want to experience? Or is there a split? Is there a gap between what I am saying I want and what I am unconsciously broadcasting? Write down your observations without judgment. You are not trying to change anything yet. You are simply illuminating the unconscious signature. Most people live their entire lives unconscious of the signal they are broadcasting, wondering why reality keeps giving them the same results. You cannot shift a frequency you refuse to acknowledge.
Phase 2. Quantum Timeline Selection. Once you have mapped your current frequency, the next phase is to identify the specific timeline you want to align with. But this isn't visualization in the traditional sense. You are not imagining something you don't have. You are tuning into a parallel reality where a version of you already exists. Close your eyes and feel into this. Somewhere in the quantum field, there is a version of you living your ideal life right now, not in the future, now. That version has a specific frequency signature, a particular emotional baseline, a certain way of moving through the world. Your task is not to create that version. Your task is to feel that version. Ask yourself, what does that timeline feel like when they wake up in the morning? What is their default emotional state throughout the day? Is it rushed or is it spacious? How do they hold themselves? How do they breathe? How do they make decisions? How do they respond to challenges? Do they panic or do they trust? You are not trying to become that version through effort or achievement. You are trying to feel what it feels like to already be that version. This is crucial. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you want to become. It responds to what you are. So you must practice being the frequency of your desired timeline before that timeline can become your experienced reality. Spend 20 minutes every morning in this quantum state, not visualizing scenes, not affirming words, not trying to convince yourself, simply resting in the frequency signature of the timeline where you already are who you are becoming. This isn't fantasy or imagination. This is quantum tuning. You are calibrating your nervous system to a new normal.
Phase 3. Coherence Activation. This is where most people fail. They tune in to the desired frequency during meditation, then immediately snap back to their default signature the moment they engage with daily life. They open their eyes, look at their phone, and instantly drop back into lack. They create a split between their practice frequency and their living frequency. True transformation requires bringing your elevated frequency into your actual moment-to-moment experience. This means you must begin making different micro-choices throughout your day. If your desired timeline operates from abundance consciousness, then when you feel the impulse to check your bank account anxiously, you must recognize that impulse as your old frequency trying to reassert itself. In that moment, pause, breathe, and consciously choose the response pattern of your desired timeline. How would the abundant version of you relate to money? What would they do in this moment? They would trust. They would relax. If your desired timeline operates from confidence and self-worth, then when you feel the familiar pattern of self-doubt arising, you must see it as old programming trying to maintain its existence. In that moment, you consciously embody the frequency of your desired timeline. How would that version of you meet this situation? This isn't positive thinking or fake it till you make it. This is quantum timeline navigation. Every micro-choice you make either strengthens your alignment with your old signature or your new one, and the quantum field is reading these choices, responding to the frequency they broadcast.
But let me address something critical that will determine whether you actually apply this or just consume it as interesting information. Your ego mind is going to resist this process intensely because this process threatens its existence. Your ego is composed of your old identity structure, your familiar patterns, your known self. When you begin shifting your quantum signature, you are literally dismantling the ego's foundation. The resistance will show up as doubt. This sounds too simple. Real change requires more effort. Skepticism. Quantum physics doesn't actually work this way. This is just spiritual bypassing. Distraction. Suddenly, you will feel urgently called to do literally anything except this practice. Delay. I'll start this properly on Monday. When you encounter this resistance, do not fight it. Recognize it for what it is, the death throes of the old self. It means you are doing it right. It means the shift is happening. Smile at the resistance and continue the protocol.
Here is what happens when you consistently apply this protocol with genuine commitment. Within 30 to 40 days, you will notice your baseline emotional frequency beginning to shift. What used to feel natural and normal starts feeling strange and incompatible. What used to feel aspirational and distant starts feeling familiar and accessible. This is not placebo effect. This is measurable quantum coherence increasing in your electromagnetic field. Studies on meditation practitioners show that consistent frequency work actually changes the measurable electromagnetic patterns emanating from the body. You are not imagining a shift. You are creating a biological, neurological, electromagnetic shift in your entire system. And when your quantum signature shifts, reality must reorganize itself to match. Not through magic, through physics. Through the same mechanism by which observation collapses wave functions into particles. Your new frequency serves as a new observation pattern, collapsing different quantum probabilities into your experience. Synchronicities begin multiplying. Opportunities appear from unexpected directions. People respond to you differently. Resources flow more easily. This isn't the universe rewarding you. This is you finally broadcasting a clear signal that the quantum field can organize itself around. So here is my invitation to you. If this is creating a shift in your awareness, if something inside you is recognizing the truth of what I am sharing, then comment below with this exact phrase, I am the frequency. Don't type it casually. Let it be a quantum declaration, a conscious acknowledgement that you are ready to operate from this level of understanding rather than continuing to play in the shallow end of manifestation. Because you are not separate, you are not lacking, you are not waiting. You are the frequency. And the moment you realize that, the game changes forever. Subscribe to the laboratory. Keep tuning, keep aligning. Welcome to Quantum Core.